Hello and welcome to the YMS channel. Today you join me at London Concours for what I think is probably the best event in London. So let's go around and take a look. Here we have what I think is one of the best Lamborghinis ever made. It's the SE30 Yota, and the most important part of that is the Yota part. The SE30 celebrates 30 years of Lamborghini production, the special edition 30 years, that's what it means. But the Yota part is what I think is the interesting part about this car. Lamborghini made around 150 Diablo SE30s and 20 of those had the Yota kit on it. The kit could be ordered as the car was in production, but also you could add the kit on after the car was delivered. Yota celebrated the motorsport division of a Lamborghini, which was closed in the mid 1990s. They used to race in Formula 1 as an engine supplier, and this kind of celebrates. The way to spot a Yota Diablo is the air scoops. That's unique to this car. They're different to the SV one, so don't confuse them with each other. And this car also has a wing on it, and I didn't know until today that you can order a SE30 without the wing, which there is a car here like that, and we'll see it in a few minutes. Note that the wing is adjustable as well. All SE30s come with magnesium wheels, which is inspired by motorsport and Formula 1. The Lamborghini Countach also had magnesium wheels, the Series 1 Countach S low body cars, but they cost $3,000 a set, and because of that they kind of dropped them for the later cars. So we've seen the SE30 Yota. This is a SE30 supercharged car, a unique car. It was done by a Lamborghini dealer in conjunction with the factory, so it's kind of like a officially approved supercharged Diablo. It's over 630 brake horsepower, making it one of the fastest Diablos ever. What is also interesting about this SE30 is that it's spec'd without a wing. I don't think I've ever seen an SE30 without a wing, so it makes it unique visually as well. So next to the SE30 you got a Ferrari 812 Competizione. Such an extreme looking car. It kind of makes the Diablo look normal, if that is such a thing, but just look at that, the back end of it is so extreme. Next to the 812 Competizione you got another Ferrari, the 250 Lusso, the elegant version of the 250 series of cars, and this one looks like it's been well used. Here's a car I don't know too much about. The Costin Nathan is a prototype, but I just want to point out the interior on this car. Take a look at all the wood. Here's a very special Porsche 911 RSR. I mean, the RSRs are special anyway, but this one's an art car, hand painted. Here's a close-up look of the artwork. We got here a highly unusual Ferrari Testarossa finished in yellow. Most were finished in red, so it's nice to see a different color. And next to it you got a Diablo finished in yellow. It's an SV, an early car, you can see by the pop-up headlights. It's also finished in yellow, which is nice to see, although it's not a rare color for Diablos. And my favorite of the special limited series Ferraris, the F50. The F50 is everything you want in a Ferrari. It's a manual V12. It's an extremely rare car. They made 349, and the roof comes off, so you get all the experience of an open-top car. Ferrari 512 BB. This one's a right-hand drive car. It's quite rare to see a right-hand drive BB. I've seen a lot of BBs in my time, but I've never noticed that on the front bumper you have a knacker duck. The Lister Le Mans, based on a Jaguar XJS, this car is capable of doing over 200 miles an hour. This is part of the Zagato lineup of cars at the show. This is a Ferrari 550 GTZ Berlinetta rebodied by Zagato. This car is kind of in two parts for me. I like the front and the side profile. When we come to the rear of the car, I think these rear wheel arches just do not work. They're just too big, and then the back of the car is just too unusual. I think it kind of loses its flow. What do you think? Here's another Zagato bodied car, the Alfa Romeo RZ, basically a cabriolet version of the SZ. Zagato and Alfa Romeo have a long history. And here's the SZ, an extremely unusual car. Just look at the rear wing, where it's placed. A Bar 750 rebodied by Zagato. It is absolutely tiny. Finishing off the Zagato lineup are a row of Aston Martins. Zagato and Aston Martin have done a lot of cars in recent years. This has to be one of the cars of the show, the Lamborghini Miura, and no one's even looking at it. Got the engine on full display here for everyone to see. Of course, this is the Bizzarrini engine. It started off with the first Lamborghini and ran all the way through to the Murcielago. Citroen DS Chaperon, or the cabriolet version. Beautiful looking car, lots of nice details. I mean, just look at that indicator. Love the color on it as well, with the red roof.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again to Koenigsegg London, to Adam Nardoni and Tom Pagliaro for bringing this astonishing Yes Go round to see us. Now, we've got a very different conversation coming up in just a few minutes' time. If you want to join us up towards the Honourable Artillery Company, there's two bloody great big guns there. You can't miss them. We're going to have a chat up there in just a few minutes' time.
Ferrari F12 TDF. The livery is actually based on a traditional 250 TDF car, so it's quite nice to see on a modern TDF. Aston Martin Valkyrie Spider 1 of 85 made, and this one is finished in a matte purple with lots of purple carbon fiber. Just look at that. All of this is carbon. The Ferrari Monza SP2, one of my favorite modern Ferraris. I think it's just a beautiful looking car, especially in SP1 form. It celebrates Ferrari's heritage as part of the Icona series. Probably one of the most famous Zenvos in the world, Schmee's TSRS. The wing always gets me on this car. It's more like, it's like kind of like scaffolding, but it's so extreme. Jaguar CX-75. This was originally a concept car. They were going to put it in production. It never happened, but now this specific one is road legal. It was made road legal by Callum. Ferrari Daytona SP3, the Icona series car, and probably one of the most beautiful Ferraris made of all time. Absolutely stunning. The detail on this car is immense. A lot of people don't like it, especially the back end of it, but I think it's just perfect. I think if you know your Ferrari history, you understand the design cues of this car. There's a lot of thought that's gone into it. You just need to understand the history of the car. Next to the SP3, we've got an SP2, this time finished in blue. It's the first time I've seen two Icona series cars side by side. Ferrari 575 Super America, the special edition version of the 575. Highly underrated in my opinion as a Ferrari. Here's a special car, the McLaren P1 HDK by Lazzante. HDK stands for High Downforce Kit, a kit that was offered to the original F1 owners to modify their cars. The Enzo Ferrari, a car that's aged really well in my opinion, and it looks great in person. Although in pictures the front looks a bit odd. The actual front nose is inspired by the Formula 1 cars of its era. You can see that it's raised, but it just doesn't look right in pictures, I think. Stunning Porsche 918 Spider, finished in an unusual yellow. Another Porsche, this time it's a Carrera GT, a car with a lot of hype around it. People love the way it drives, but I think in terms of the way it looks, it kind of looks like a oversized Boxster of the time. I know it might sound like a controversial statement, but let me know what you think. A John Surtees F1 car. John Surtees won the Formula 1 championship with Ferrari. He later went on to build his own cars. This is his. Interesting that during this period in the 70s, Ford dominated the engine side of Formula 1. Only Ferrari were making their own engines. Pretty much every other manufacturer was using Ford as their engine supplier. McLaren Senna, a car that's not aging well at all. Ford Escort Mark 1, finished in this really nice gold and red livery. Take a look at the names that have driven this car, including Graham Hill. Here's a very special race car, a Group C Jaguar XJR9 from 1986. Jaguar won Le Mans in 1988 with a variant of this car. I just love these Group C races. Something special about them. In fact, this entire era of motorsport is something special. Here we have one of the most legendary Group B rally cars, the MG Metro 6R4. Interesting fact on this car, the same engine was used in the Jaguar XJ220 supercar. A Porsche 917, well, more specifically an Icon 917K. It's a road-going version of the 917. It's kind of like a tribute car, but pretty cool. Porsche seems to like them. I think they use them for demonstration runs. And next to it, we got this extremely unusual Testarossa finished in a goldy brown. Earlier on we saw a yellow Testarossa, which is also rare. So seeing two different colors, rare colors on a Testarossa is really nice. Notice the gold Ferrari Cavallino, which is quite unusual. It matches the car though. Lamborghini Diablo, I think it's a standard car even though it's got SV bits all over it, including the wing and the rear grille. This one's got its headlights up, which is pretty cool to see. You don't really see it out. You can see it's not an SV, there's no roof scoops. Mercedes AMG estate car, but let's take a look at the interior. How wild is that color? McLaren P1 XPR5, which is a prototype car. Nice to see one. The 1969 Chevron B16. Don't know much about this car, but let's just take a look at the seats. This is highly unusual, a Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale Spider. Of course, the factory never made a Challenge Stradale Spider, so this is an aftermarket conversion, but it's a very cool idea in my opinion. Got a row of Corvettes. Let's walk down and take a look at them. I really like the C2s, it's probably my favorite of the Corvette range. This C2 is a split screen one, and they only made that for 1 year, so it's quite rare. a Porsche 356 Speedster finished in black with a red interior. This is my spec. The 356 is actually one of my favorite Porsches. We've got a Lancia Stratos, a legendary car in its own right. This is the Ferrari version, the road car. Next to it is the Miura, and they have something in common. They were both designed by the same person, Marcello Gandini. Gandini, of course, designed some legendary cars. We lost him recently, sadly, but he designed the Countach, the Miura, Diablo, Zagato V16, the original Bugatti EV110. He kind of changed the way we look at cars and rewrote the rule book and what we could do with car design. And unfortunately, I don't think it was recognized in his own lifetime for what he did. I'm going to end the vlog here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.